Thanks so much, Anna Marie. You've done such a marvelous job as our host for the entire 2022 annual conference, and we're all grateful to you. I'm Steve Grossman, and I'm proud to serve as CEO of ICIC, the Initiative for a Competitive Intercity. And I am delighted to welcome you to one of the highlights of the annual conference, the release of our Intercity 100 list. Since 1999, ICIC has identified and celebrated the 100 fastest growing businesses in under-resourced communities in the United States through the Intercity 100 Awards. During that time, we've had the privilege of learning about and highlighting more than 1,000 innovative business leaders, as well as their companies from across the United States who continuously inspire us. These firms have been engines of job growth and a healthy, inclusive economy during these challenging times. They have also been actively engaged in strengthening their communities and the people who live in those communities. We're excited to celebrate the incredibly diverse group of award winners on this year's list. Let me share with you some details about this year's remarkable Intercity 100 list. They represent 25 industries from 57 cities and 28 states. These firms are 50% BIPOC or minority-led and 50% woman-led, a dramatic increase from 32% woman-owned just last year. Our winners this year average 421% in revenue growth between 2017 and 2021, with an average of $6.68 million in annual revenue in 2017 and $16.17 million in 2021. That is remarkable, and we're so proud of all of you. Companies on the Intercity 100 list employed 7,260 people in 2021 and collectively created 4,011 jobs between 2017 and 2021. And as we all know, job creation is the lifeblood of our under-resourced communities. This year, we're proud to have 34 first-time winners. On this year's list, we're also recognizing 22 Hall of Fame winners. These are companies that have been on the Intercity 100 list 5 or more times and are true engines of growth and sustainability in their communities. Before we get to the list, we invite our Intercity 100 winners to now open their awards boxes. In addition to your award and a special gift created by our colleagues, Intercity 100 Hall of Famers Blaisdell's Business Products of Richmond, California, inside, you'll find an envelope with important information, including a letter from our partners at Artists for Humanity. That's the organization I mentioned earlier that crafted this year's awards, as well as a gift from Scent and Fire Candle Company, also an alum of our Intercity Capital Connections and Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses programs, as well as information on how to promote your win to your networks. And don't forget to promote it. This is an important award. A lot of people will be very excited to learn about your extraordinary accomplishment. I want to encourage you all to post to social media with the hashtag ICIC AnCon, that's ICIC AnCon, and tag us at ICIC.org so we can celebrate this year's amazing Intercity 100 cohort together. We'll be checking in with you all through these posts later on this evening. And now let's count down the 100 winners of the 22 Intercity 100 list. Let's start with winners 100 to 91. And please note that in this group, there are 5 Hall of Famers. And as I said earlier, Hall of Famers are companies that have been on the list 5 or more times. And now let's celebrate winners 90 to 81, including 1 Hall of Famer, Giroux Glass. And now we'll move on to winners 80 to 71, which contains 4 Hall of Famers. And now we'd like to highlight the first of 3 special awards we're presenting today. The Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award, presented by FedEx, highlights ICIC and FedEx's shared commitment to diversity, global trade, empowering entrepreneurs, and creating employment opportunities in cities around the world. Please join me in welcoming our dear friend, FedEx's Vice President of Sourcing and Procurement, Sue Spence, who will present this award.
Hello. On behalf of FedEx, I'm thrilled to be with you today to present the 6th Annual Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award. Most of you know FedEx is one of the country's leading multinational corporations. We employ nearly 550,000 employees based out of more than 5,000 facilities around the world. And this large presence makes a measurable difference in economic vitality in all the areas in which we operate. Small businesses are critical to the success of FedEx, not only as customers, but as suppliers and vendors as well. FedEx is committed to advancing the sustainable growth of women and minority-owned small businesses globally through training and increased access to resources, capital, and new markets. We work with organizations like ICIC to provide entrepreneurs with the tools and resources they need to thrive and prosper in their communities. In partnership with ICIC, we created the FedEx Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award in 2017, which recognizes one Inner City 100 winner for its embodiment of FedEx values and commitments, including driving innovation, empowering diverse entrepreneurs, and creating employment opportunities. The 2022 Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award winner is an Atlanta-based travel company that coordinates solo and group trip experiences for women of color. The firm was created in 2016 when its founder read an online post discouraging Black women from traveling alone. As a woman of color who frequently travels solo and has a great passion for visiting and experiencing new places around the globe, she felt an urgency to create a firm focused on creating safe and meaningful travel opportunities for women of color. The mission of this year's winner is to connect, empower, inspire, and support women of color. The firm prides itself on connecting women of color who may never have met, while providing them with a safe space to explore the world. The company aims to show women that stepping beyond their comfort zones can open doors and lead to opportunities they may have not had before. Since its inception 6 years ago, this firm has helped more than 370 women travel to over 17 countries across the globe through culturally themed trips. In addition, it has contributed more than $250,000 to local women-owned businesses in Tanzania, Morocco, and Ghana. This company has also created a passport giveaway program to help provide a U.S. passport to those who lack the financial means to obtain one. It has also created a robust and engaged online community of nearly 80,000 women of color solo travelers. This company has achieved impressive results, with revenues growing more than 400% since 2017, and has been featured in Essence, Black Enterprise, Travel and Leisure, and Money magazine. Because of these reasons, I am honored to announce that the 2022 Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award winner is Sisters Traveling Solo, led by its founder and CEO, Cole Banks. Congratulations to Cole and the entire Sisters Traveling Solo team.
Hi, I'm Cole Banks, founder of Sisters Traveling Solo. We provide women with pre-planned group trip services. So from the cultural trip to Ghana, to the traditional trips to Paris, to the wellness trip to the Maldives, we try to cater to every type of traveler. I started Sisters Traveling Solo after I read a comment online that said Black women shouldn't travel solo. You know, being a Black woman who traveled solo often, I knew that wasn't true, and I knew there were other women like me. So I wanted to create a community, and we did that on Facebook. You know, we had 100 people, and I didn't know if the community was out there, but then all of a sudden we hit 7,000 members, and then the next month that doubled into 14,000, and then 14,000 jumped to 20. That initial growth happened so fast because people found their tribe within our community. To date, that community is 70,000 women. On average, we found that people take about 3 trips with us. We've had people who are on trip number 9 and trip number 10. So I think that speaks to the level of our services that we provide. So for us, of course, being in travel, the pandemic just stopped everything. The one thing we had to do as a brand was find out how do we put policies and procedures in place in the midst of the pandemic that's going to help protect our brand. We're proactive, not reactive. It was like, okay, how do I use this time to my advantage? So I said, hey, I got all this time. I'm going to plan as many trips as I can. And we did 30 trips for 2021, which is the most trips I planned ever. The community comes alive on these trips. People cannot believe that these group of women, you know, just met and they are like best friends, and you hear laughter like they were family. We meet as strangers, but we leave as sisters.
Before I worked for Sisters Traveling Solo, I was a customer and I wanted to begin traveling more out of the country. But as a single woman, I had like a little, nervousness about that. And someone told me about Sisters Traveling Solo, and there was a trip there going to Morocco. It was the most amazing experience for me. And once that happened, I planned another trip. Every time you go, it's a learning experience. So it just becomes that whole energy that there's another world out there. You have more empathy and you have more kindness and caring in your heart for other people and what their lives are like.
People say, if you do something that you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And that's how being a part of this company has made me feel, in just being able to help other people feel confident enough and safe enough to experience traveling around the world. I feel like I'm a citizen of the entire world. Really, it's made me just a huge dreamer. So I was attracted to Sisters Traveling Solo because they went to destinations that were really cultural experiences. Oftentimes there are opportunities to give back to that community, the place that we're traveling.
I've been very intentional about when we travel, what impact can we make on that particular community. For our cultural trips, I will only work with a woman-owned business. That woman has to be a local. We've supported in terms of like revenue given over $300,000. The goal is to get that help or those extra resources so we can triple where we are. For us, it's about making that impact, especially as we continue to grow. Imagine once we get to a place where we're 3 times as big, imagine that impact that trickles down, but to that small woman-owned business that we also are intentional about supporting, or that women's shelter that we visit, that we give donations to, that now gets donations every time we come versus the one time that we come. The advice I would give to other business owners is just to follow your vision. There's no such thing for me as failure, so I'm just going to keep throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks, because sometimes those things that stick is what takes you to the next level. So just keep pushing, keep following your vision. Don't be afraid to be that new person in the industry that's not looking like everyone else.
Thank you so much, Sue, and thanks to FedEx. And congratulations and our thanks to Sisters Traveling Solo on this great recognition and honor. And now, let's get back to the list and recognize winners 70 to 61, including 4 Hall of Famers, including winner number 69, Urban Tech Consulting Engineering of New York, which is led by Inner City Alumni Network Advisory Board member Wei Wang. And now let's move on to winners 60 to 51, including 2 Hall of Famers. And now let's move on to winners 50 to 41, including 2 Hall of Famers. And I want to make special mention of West Coast Trucking of Compton, California, winner number 42, a Hall of Famer featured in this year's Impact Report and led by a longtime friend of ICIC, Jay Patel. And now we'd like to highlight our next special award. It's named in honor of ICIC's first president and CEO, who served in this role from 2005 to 2008. Under Dorothy Terrell's leadership, ICIC significantly expanded its reach and impact. This award carries on her commitment to impacting under-resourced communities and will be presented by Chevron, one of ICIC's longest-standing partners. Chevron champions local job creation, workforce development, and economic opportunity in markets where it operates, making them a fantastic partner on the Intercity 100 initiative. I am so pleased and proud to introduce Christina Ferguson, Chevron's Supervising Counsel for Procurement and Supply Chain Management, who will present the Dorothy A. Terrell Community Impact Award.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Chevron, I'm thrilled to be with you today to present this year's Dorothy A. Terrell Community Impact Award. For nearly 20 years, Chevron and ICIC have partnered around our shared commitment to advancing inclusive economic growth and recognizing small businesses that have made a meaningful impact on their communities. We couldn't be prouder to work with ICIC to showcase small businesses that create wealth and opportunity in our country's most under-resourced communities. ICIC's mission mirrors our commitment to building the capacity of diverse small businesses and opening pathways for qualified firms to become Chevron suppliers. We know that investing in these firms is not only good for business, but more importantly, strengthens local economies and the vitality of communities in which we operate. The Community Impact Award, named in honor of ICIC's first president and CEO, Dorothy Terrell, is particularly important to Chevron because it quantifies tangible ways that thriving businesses located in under-resourced areas enhance their communities. To measure this impact, we evaluate all Intercity 100 winners on the award's key metrics, which include job creation, local hiring, quality and breadth of employee benefit programs, the amount of goods and services the company sources locally, and community engagement initiatives. I'm delighted to present the 2022 Dorothy A. Terrell Community Impact Award to a general contractor that provides design-build services for build-outs of retail, restaurant, office, and multifamily construction in the Atlanta area. This Black woman-led firm provides A to Z services for architecture, engineering, design, and construction for commercial projects. Its founder's passion springs from her desire to help others and give back to her community. This company recently established a dedicated 501c3 nonprofit organization as part of its partnership with Atlanta Technical College to provide applied educational experience to underrepresented students in the field of building and construction through hands-on project, mentorship, scholarships, applied experience, and apprenticeships. Last year, through this partnership, students from Atlanta Technical College's carpentry program gained access to 3 months of hands-on training and education, helping to build a house in Mechanicsville, Georgia. Its founder has presented on non-traditional career paths in construction to the Girl Scouts of Greater Atlanta and also volunteers with Spike Studios, a nonprofit that aims to increase underrepresented groups in the field of architecture. On behalf of Chevron, I'm proud to present this year's Dorothy A. Terrell Community Impact Award to Aspire Construction and Design. Please join me in congratulating its principal and founder, Amber Lawson, and the entire Aspire team.
I am Amber Lawson, the founder and principal of Aspire Construction and Design. We are a commercial design, build, construction company. What that means is that we offer 360-degree services to our clients: architecture, engineering, interior design, as well as general contracting services. Working in corporate America, I found that there was a ceiling that I was hitting over and over and over again. And I wanted to create an opportunity for myself and others like me so that we didn't have to experience that ceiling, so that in the field of construction, we could go as high and as far as our skills and talents could take us. The team is the heartbeat of the company.
The company culture at Aspire Construction and Design is amazing. We get to experience a good work-life balance, and we also get an opportunity to experience things outside of work with our boss. We go on lunches, we go through different community events.
I would have to say working at Aspire is probably one of the best companies I've ever worked for. The culture here is very different. You really get that up close and personal with everybody you work with, including the owner. And I feel like that's kind of invaluable because you get to learn and be mentored by somebody that's basically doing what you aspire to do.
COVID was very interesting. The pivot for Aspire was really reaching out to those industries and businesses that were not as affected by the pandemic. And by reaching out to those businesses and seeking out that work for those companies that were expanding, they did have increased access to capital. Particularly through the SBA program, we were able to assist them, with their design and build projects. So the sense of community for Aspire Construction and Design is one of our core values. It goes back to why we located our headquarters here in Pittsburgh, an in-town neighborhood of Atlanta, Georgia. And it also shows itself in the partnerships that we've created. One of the key partnerships that Aspire Construction and Design has is with the Girl Scouts of Greater Atlanta. We have partnered with them to, in conjunction with Home Depot, to provide trade experience to the girls so they could learn how to build things. I want to encourage other women to enter this field, which is male-dominated, as we know, but it is a lucrative field. It requires you to bring every skill you have to the table. And I feel that women are uniquely positioned to do that, opening their eyes to that possibility that this could be a career path is crucial.
I feel that as a Black woman going into this industry, it is very, very good experience to work with someone who looks like me and who has been through a similar background as I have.
Just seeing, that it is possible and seeing that representation, I think it has the greatest impact over anything else.
It means the world to me that Aspire Construction and Design is open for business and that we were able to come through the pandemic to the other side and be in this beautiful facility and be able to provide services to other small businesses so that they can also be open for business and expand and grow.
Thank you, Christina, and thanks to Chevron. And congratulations to Aspire Construction and Design for driving such significant impact in your community. And now, let's get back to our countdown. We'll continue with winners 40 to 31. Continuing on, let's recognize winners 30 to 21, including 2 Hall of Famers. And I want to note that ER2, number 26 of Memphis, Tennessee, is not only a Hall of Famer, but is led by last year's annual conference keynote speaker, Chris Coe, who's featured in this year's Impact Report. getting exciting, folks. Let's move on to winners 20 to 11, which includes 2 Hall of Famers. And I note number 18, Sisters Traveling Solo of Atlanta, Georgia, was this year's FedEx Champion of Global Entrepreneurship Award winner, which we recognized just a little while ago. And now it's time to count down this year's top 10 Inner City 100 winners. Number 10, Pepper Foster Consulting of Portland, Oregon, with 2017 to 2021 revenue growth of 1,036%. Number 9, Somerset Academy Early Learning Center of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 4-year revenue growth rate, 1,307%. These are amazing statistics, I think we'll all agree. And now let's move on to winner number 8, The Place to Be, from Hartford, Connecticut, with a 2017 to 2021 revenue growth rate of 1,353%. Winner number 7, Rudd Resources LLC of Chicago, Illinois, with a 4-year revenue growth rate of 1,399%. Winner number 6, Aspire Construction and Design of Atlanta, Georgia, with a 4-year revenue growth rate of 1,517%. And as we noted earlier, Aspire is this year's Chevron Dorothy A. Terrell Community Impact Award winner. Winner number 5, from Miami, Florida, Ticini, with a 2017 to 2021 revenue growth rate of 1,861%. Many of you will recall that Ticini was named in both 2020 and 2021 as the fastest growing company on the Inner City 100 list. And now we're going to move on to winner number 4, Federal Resources Corporation of Erie, Pennsylvania, with a 4-year revenue growth rate of 1,937%. Winner number 3, Renting Cars Holdings of Miami, Florida, with a 4-year revenue growth rate of 1,999%. These are extraordinary numbers, and I'm so proud of each of these companies and of all of our Inner City 100 winners this year. Winner number 2, from Portland, Oregon, Above the Fray, with a revenue growth rate from 2017 to 2021 of 2,516%. Congratulations to Above the Fray for an extraordinary record of accomplishment. And now, for this year's number 1 fastest growing inner city business, the winner of the 2022 Business Growth Award. I'm so pleased and privileged to introduce Ron Homer, my longtime friend, who's also ICIC's board chair and the chief strategist for impact investing at RBC Global Asset Management. Ron will present this year's Business Growth Award.
Good afternoon. I'm Ron Homer, chairman of ICIC's board of directors. It's my pleasure to be here today on behalf of my colleagues on the board and ICIC staff to present this year's Business Growth Award. This award recognizes the fastest growing company on the 2022 Inner City 100 list. Since the Inner City 100 program was created over 20 years ago, ICIC has had the pleasure of celebrating more than 1,000 incredible companies from across the country that are catalysts of opportunity, optimism, and transformation in the communities where they're located. These extraordinary business leaders have persevered through the unprecedented challenges and economic uncertainty brought on by the pandemic, and their companies truly embody what it means to be open for business in 2022. The stories of our Inner City 100 winners continuously inspire us, and this year's Business Growth Award recipient is an exemplar on how a small business can be an engine of community impact and a healthy, inclusive economy. Now it's time for you to meet the company that tops this year's Inner City 100 list. having grown by more than 13,000% in the last 4 years. In 2021, this majority woman-owned company had over $12 million in revenues and is anticipating continued growth in the years ahead. This year's Business Growth Award recipient is a nationally recognized and loved sleepwear and lifestyle brand. Based in Philadelphia, the company is well known for its handcrafted, eco-conscious sleep and loungewear that comes in whimsical and unique designs inspired by plants, animals, and home decor. Its products can be found on its dynamic online shop and are distributed in select boutiques across the country. It is my pleasure to introduce PrintFresh as the #1 ranking company on this year's Inner City 100 list. Congratulations to its co-founders, Amy and Leo Bolishin, on this incredible achievement. Here's a video that will tell you a bit more about them.
My name's Amy Voloshin, and I'm the co-founder of PrintFresh, and we make size-inclusive, sustainable women's pajamas. So after working behind the scenes in the fashion industry for 10 years, I knew that I really wanted to bring my love of pattern and really joyful prints to a product. And I met Leo, who's my business partner and husband, and we really settled down here in Philadelphia.
Amy is a textile savant and has been able to hone her skills over the last 20 years, creating over 10,000 pieces of artwork for the fashion industry. And so our unique approach to print and pattern is what makes us completely different from anyone else in the market. We introduced our pajamas in the fall of 2019, and we were really at that time very much a business to business. We were selling to small boutiques all over the country. We had a phenomenal response to the line initially, but as the beginning of 2020 rolled around, we realized that there was going to be a lot of shutdowns, and I said, hey, we have to get on Facebook. And so over the first quarter of 2020, we were able to really focus in on getting customers to come to our website, and everybody really wanted to be comfortable at that time and be in pajamas. And so our business really just took off.
Our team being so committed to lifelong learning really helped us get through things, and it's a mindset that I think we have to continue to bring to our business every day.
We have an extremely dedicated team that really just goes above and beyond and really cares about the job and parts of the mission that resonate with them.
What attracted me to PrintFresh is the fact that it's a really a great place to learn a lot. Because we are a small team, there's a lot of responsibilities that fall on each individual. And me coming from big corporations, you can get a little bit stuck in your role. And I really love that here, it's kind of like the sky's the limit.
I always have friends joke that I have the most whimsical job they've ever heard of. And it's just really fun to come into work every day and do something so creative. PrintFresh is definitely super supportive of us giving back to the community. Personally, I volunteer at an animal sanctuary, which is definitely related to all of the plants and animals that I'm painting and drawing for the PrintFresh pajamas. Supporting our community is definitely a big part of our values here at PrintFresh.
So we joined the 1% Pledge. That's an organization that helps to create some structure around donating time, product, and profit.
One of the things that we're extremely passionate about is creating access and opportunity in the fashion industry for other folks living in the inner city. And so we created a scholarship with the Made Institute, which is an accredited fashion program based in Philadelphia. Open for business means being attuned to the ongoing market dynamics. I think you just have to really have your ear to the ground, understand what's going on with your customer.
To be successful right now, you have to be competitive on social media, email, digital advertising, have a wholesale footprint, have a retail location. I think that there's so many different ways that we have to be selling to be able to reach our customer.
You get this feeling in your stomach that this is the right move for you, this is the right move at this time, and really learn to listen to those feelings, because those are the intuitive moments that really can help pivot a business. Our goals over the next 10 years, I think, are to continue to grow the business sustainably. Many of the tenets of the business are a little bit more globally focused, being sustainable, having ethical business practices, promoting size inclusivity. Those are things that are really important and core to our business. We hope to be able to continue to create access and equity in the fashion industry.
Thank you, Ron, for the presentation and for your leadership every day as our board chair. And a huge expression of congratulations from all of us to Print Fresh and its co-founders Amy and Leo Voloshin of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for such remarkable growth and on receiving this prestigious, tremendous honor. I'd like to welcome everyone who's logged in to join me in congratulating all of our 2022 winners and Hall of Famers. And I'd like to propose a special toast for our Inner City 100 winners. Along with your award, each of you received a commemorative cup, just like this one, created by Hall of Famer, 9-time Inner City 100 winner, including 2022 Blaisdell's Business Products in Richmond, California. If you could grab your cup right now, which I hope is filled with your beverage of choice, I'd like you to raise your glasses and toast the extraordinary class of 2022, which sustained their momentum amid unprecedented challenges faced during the pandemic to greatly expand their revenue, a tremendous accomplishment which we celebrate today. Join me in this toast to a remarkable group of winners. Thank you so much. And now let's check in with ICIC's Director of Ecosystem Engagement and our host for the conference, Anna Marie Cruz.
Thank you again, Steve, and cheers to all of our winners, our 2022 IC 100 winners, and all of our small business owners who have participated in ICIC's programs this year. Now, let's take a look at what's happening on our social media wall. We've got some great posts from folks from our list, from our IC 100 winners list. We've got some key insights from our different panel discussions. We've got comments from Kimberly O'Neill, from 3-time IC 100 winner Digital Hive, McAleer's Office Furniture, G. Duncan Furniture Factory, Montgomery Arts Academy, BC Design House, PyCar Commercial. We also have folks who have posted about the Business Growth Marketplace, including Roast Best, Kula, and you heard about their story, Sisters Traveling Solo. And we have some posts from M&A Supplier Diversity, our partners Small Business Majority, Get Higher Staffing, VCP Contractors, and many more. Keep these comments coming. This is a great way for us to capture your thoughts, your ideas, your key learnings. And now I'd like to turn your attention to special remarks from a dear friend of ICIC, Asahi Pompey, the Global Head of Corporate Engagement and President of the Goldman Sachs Foundation. Asahi?
Anna, that was a great introduction. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. I am honored to welcome you to ICIC's 2022 annual conference. Now, why are we all here today? To deliver excellence to the constituents near and dear to our heart, America's small business owners. At Goldman Sachs, we care about growing the economy, and we know that small businesses are absolutely essential to that mission. Over the last 12 years, Goldman Sachs made a $750 million commitment to support small businesses when we launched our 10,000 Small Businesses program. So, has our progress met our ambition? Absolutely. Today, we've helped drive growth and create jobs for over 13,000 small businesses across every single part of this country through our best-in-class education program. These small businesses are a powerful force. They collectively represent, get this, $17.3 billion in revenue, and they employ over 245,000 people. Now fast forward to 2021. We launched 1 Million Black Women to help close the racial wealth gap by investing in, yes, you guessed it, Black women. Through 1 Million Black Women, Goldman Sachs will provide $10 billion in direct investment capital and $100 million in philanthropic support to address both the gender and racial bias that Black women have faced for generations. As part of our 1 Million Black Women initiative, we introduced a particular program called Black in Business. It takes the very best of 10KSB, but focuses on Black women solopreneurs. This is a high potential group of budding entrepreneurs who, with the right tools, can help build wealth for themselves, their families, and their communities. Now, these two programs would be nothing without our long-standing national partner, ICIC. ICIC has been with Goldman Sachs since day one of 10,000 Small Businesses and since day one of 1 Million Black Women, Black in Business. We have a shared mission, and our North Star is clear: to unleash the potential of small businesses to ignite economic growth and to drive innovation. With ICIC, we have successfully recruited and selected over 13,000 entrepreneurs to our programs, some of which are here with us today in this audience as well as on Zoom. I want to give a big shout out to all those 10KSB alums out there. We are so thrilled that you've been on this journey with us. We look forward to reaching 20,000 small businesses. I know that ICIC will help us fulfill our mission to create long-lasting models for growth that extend far beyond our efforts. I want to thank ICIC for bringing us together to celebrate small businesses. We are open for business.
Thank you so much, Asahi and Goldman Sachs, for your incredible partnership over the years and for years to come. Now, back to Steve for acknowledgments of our other programs, including exciting updates to our alumni community, or AnCon.
Thanks, Anna Marie. And now let's celebrate another group of business leaders, participants in our Inner City Capital Connections program. I'd like to invite the director of the ICCC program, Diego Portillo Mazal, to say a few words. Diego?
Hola, my name is Diego Portillo Mazal, and I'm the director of the ICCC program. I am so happy to see many of our participants, alumni, and partners here. For some of you, this week will give you the credits you need to graduate from the ICCC program. For others, you will continue to meet with coaches, watch webinars, or complete work on the digital learning platform into the middle of January. Whether you've graduated or are working on it, you are now part of the ICIC family and will continue to have access to ICIC content and events. I personally hope that you will walk away from this program with lessons from our professors, presenters, coaches, and your fellow participants that have inspired you to implement something new in your business, and that these action steps will lead to your continued growth and success. This culminating event does not and should not mean the end of your learning, coaching, or community building. As you remain open for business, we hope that you will continue to see ICIC as a key resource in your business journey. I wish each and every one of you a happy 2023 and much success.
Thank you, Diego, and to the ICCC team. And thank you to all participants in our 2022 ICCC cohorts. We're so proud to support each and every one of you and are so grateful for your hard work and dedication. Next up, I'd like to welcome a member of our AnCon, or Inner City Alumni Network Advisory Board, Diane Austin of Coils to Locks, to share some thoughts with all of you who are members of our ICIC alumni community.
Hello, ICIC and ICANN family. It's my pleasure to be here with all of you today. I'm Diane Austin, and I am a Inner City Alumni Network, or ICANN alum, and I'm a member of the ICANN Advisory Board. I'm also the co-founder and CEO of Coils to Locks. Coils to Locks is the only U.S. wig distributor that is disrupting a healthcare disparity, which is the lack of access for Black women to tightly coiled and curly wigs, or what we like to call ethnically inspired wigs for Black women with medical hair loss. And these wigs can be purchased at cancer center hospitals and medical hair loss salons through healthcare reimbursement across the country. That's a little bit about me. My purpose and honor today is to thank you all for your participation at the conference and to acknowledge our ICIC program graduates who are now ICANN alum. So congratulations on a job well done. I'd also like to share a little bit about what's happening with ICANN. I hope that you enjoyed the series of workshops, keynotes, and breakouts throughout the week, and that you were able to make connections and continue to build your entrepreneurial growth through the rich programming that we were able to partake of this week, such as Leading with Passion and Purpose, and the structured networking session, among the many other phenomenal programming that really left my entrepreneurial cup full of practical information that I can use to strengthen my business. Please remember that the learning and the access does not end with this week's conference. The Inner City Alumni Network, under the umbrella of the Initiative for a Competitive Inner City, or ICIC, provides access to ongoing learning and professional development, educational events, and other pertinent resources through the ICANN online community platform. So please take advantage of these resources. ICANN has been building momentum over the last several months. You may be aware that we officially launched ICANN chapters in Boston, Chicago, and Washington, D.C., and we've engaged 787 ICANN and ICIC members in events throughout this year. And we are absolutely thrilled that ICIC has identified Kwanzaa Johnson in March of this year as the very first Alumni Affairs Coordinator and Director of ICANN. Kwanzaa is the strategic vision that you see behind ICANN. So if you haven't had a chance to connect with Kwanzaa, please do so. We've also identified several ambassadors and steering committee members across all of our chapters who are dedicated and engaged in continuing the momentum that has been built this year. On behalf of ICANN, I'd like to share a special thank you to those members that have taken on the role of ambassador across the Boston, Chicago, and Washington, D.C. chapters. To join a chapter near you, simply scan the QR code that you'll see shortly. I highly encourage you to join your local chapter because there are exciting things coming down the pike. In 2023, for example, ICANN will launch 3 additional chapters in 3 new cities. One of those cities will be LA. There'll be other cities that will be announced soon. We'll be hosting events both on-site and virtually, starting with the launch of the workshop Communicating with Confidence on January 24th from noon to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to save that date on your calendars. We want to see you there. On behalf of the staff of ICIC and ICANN, as well as our chapter ambassadors, thank you so much for your active participation in the 2022 ICIC Annual Conference. We hope to see you all throughout the next year as we launch into 2023. And I'm wishing you all a safe and a restful holiday season.
Thank you so much, Diane, for your leadership, and a special thanks to Kwanzaa Johnson, our Alumni Affairs Coordinator, who has worked so hard over this year to create ICANN chapters, as well as an ambassador program throughout our footprint. If you're interested in getting involved with ICANN, please email icann@icic.org. I'd like to express our collective appreciation once again to our conference sponsors. They're the ones who help make this wonderful conference possible. Thanks to Chevron, FedEx, Edward Jones, PNC Bank, Regions Bank, Bain Capital, Appleton Partners, Arteris Impact Investors, Boston Consulting Group, Salesforce, ER2, and Santander. Thanks not only for what you did to support this conference, but for your leadership and support throughout the entire year. And we're so grateful to all of you for spending time with ICIC this week and for proudly and impactfully being open for business. We hope you enjoyed this conference and that you'll stay connected to all your friends at ICIC in the months and years ahead. And once again, I'll just share with you, our web address is icic.org, and I hope you'll take a strong look at our impact report. It makes great reading. And we can't wait to see all of you at next year's conference when we'll finally have the opportunity to convene together in person. Looking forward to it. Be well. Have a wonderful holiday season.